Alright, so welcome to Season 2, Race 11 of my F1 2021, my team career mode. We are here at Spa, the Belgian Grand Prix. And just got done with qualifying, and we are on the pole, just barely ahead of Perez and Leclerc. Mercedes a little bit further back. Actually had an interesting moment right after the first turn. Fernando Alonso, where I got a notice that came up that said that Alonso had like ended the session or something like that, or he had been. It didn't say he was disqualified. He just, I presume his AI just crashed on his qualifying lap somehow, or spun around or something. But yeah, that's what happened there. But beyond that, let's go and get ready for the race. All right. So in case anything got cut off there for whatever reason, I'll just reiterate that.
All right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
Thank you, Jeff. I'll just reiterate, we got Paul. We barely edged out Perez and Leclerc. And there was a weird issue with Alonso in turn 1. I guess his AI must have crashed or something. Not actually like crashed as like the game crashed. Crashed doesn't mean. I think he might have spun out, or his ghost might have spun out or something. I don't know. It's something that weird that happened. It's never happened to me before in or something that's never happened to me before in a single car one lap shootout qualifying on the game. But yeah, weather not a concern. Picked Daniel Ricciardo to be our new rival, so there's that. We got that chassis upgrade in, and it's gotten us. It's basically a five-way fight for the top team between Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, McLaren, and Rockstar Energy Racing. AlphaTauri had a big up in performance, so they're sort of in a class of their own, and then sort of Aston Martin and Alpine sort of fighting for relevance, I guess. Upgrade wise, we do have upgrades that are coming in, 2 major engine upgrades. We have enough points to get something else, so let's see what we can do. We have another engine part that we can go with. Chassis wise, that would be a good option. How about aero? How are we on aero? I could probably catch up a little bit more in that department, so we'll go with the aero. Get an aero upgrade on the car. We got a chassis upgrade recently. We've got engine upgrades coming up, and the aero upgrade will be good. So yeah, I think we're all set for the Belgian Grand Prix.
Welcome along then to the Belgian Grand Prix, the race that gave us the maiden victory for the Jordan team in 1998. And in the same team, the phenomenal debut of a young Michael Schumacher. There's always something special around one of the many corners of this fan-favourite circuit. Spa-Francorchamps today, a circuit that spans 4.35 miles. There are tons of elevation changes along the way too. 19 corners making up this circuit, with 9 of those to the right and the remaining 10 to the left. This track is a great one for fans of pure speed. The average lap speed comes close to a whopping 145 miles an hour. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
Well, the throttle goes both ways, Crofty. You've got to have the discipline not to try and win the race on the first lap. So always be prepared to lift early and give those around you more space. Trying to be the last of the late breakers with half a dozen cars around you may pay off from time to time, but it's also a great way to lose your front wing.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. It's the owner-driver in pole position then, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Ricciardo, Carlos Sainz, and Norris, Mick Schumacher, Tsunoda, Gasly and Valtteri Bottas, Stroll, Vettel, Antonio Giovinazzi and Joe, Russell, Ireland, Nicholas Latifi and Nikita Mazepin, Ocon, Fernando Alonso. They've taken a grid penalty. Aitken and Christian Lundgaard. That.
So a couple of drivers taking grid
After
penalties.
the points finished last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Alonso's already in the back, but Ocon, Aitken, and my teammate Christian Lundgaard, who had an engine failure in the last race, also took grid penalties there. Not much to the strategy. One stop, pretty basic. And we'll get ready to go here.
Everything looks good on the power unit cycle, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature.
Race director, everyone should be starting on the softs, and that is what is the case. Or that is the case, I should say.
The drivers we're fighting here are Perez and Leclerc.
I was really disappointed to see that my teammate took a grid penalty. I mean, it made sense given that he had engine problems in the previous race, but he qualified P12, and he probably would have been in a good shot for points given the pace of our car. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case today. At least he can work wonders and rocket through the field.
Radar is clear. Weather is looking good for now.
Guess it should be interesting to track the progress of both my teammate and Jack Aitken, the Mercedes.
Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
You got to the grid pretty quickly here.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch.
Alright, 5 red lights. It's time for the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa. Lights out and away we go. And Perez is going to get a great launch on the outside, but we're going to dive back in on him in turn 1. Drag race down the Kemmel Straight after El Rouge and Radion. Here comes Ricardo. Is he going to make a move? No, but we are going to stick it with Perez, and we're going to get the lead as Ricardo is going to move into second place. What a first lap that was. Actually, I probably get a better view of that after the race is over. Keep going. Ricardo, the former winner at Spa, right up behind me in second place. A little bit of damage to the front wing, but I don't think it's significant. Of course, the news of Lundgaard starting in the back is also a bit annoying for my sake because he actually fell behind Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship after the race in Hungary, with the Ferraris finishing 1-2. So, really looking to claw back some points here if possible. I mean, just for the sake of argument, if I win the race and I don't get the fastest lap, that's 25 points. And Leclerc and Sainz are 4th and 5th, so that'd be 22 points. So I'd gain 3 points on them. Which is any gains are good, but it's gonna be more than that to re-overtake them. Rouge and Radion here. Back down the Kemmel Straight. Forgot that Belgium's got some, or got somebody variety of different corner names, which I will check here in a second, just so I can reference them properly. Move my phone around here. Head up to Lecombe's corner. High rate of speed as always. Spa really is, out of all the tracks of the game, it might be my favorite track to drive. Just love it. So my guys are still within DRS range of each other right now, at least in terms of the top 5. Ricardo's obviously close, and then Perez, Leclerc, and Sainz are all within each other's ranges. So we could be getting a bit of a DRS train here on lap 3. Going
That
up
was
the hill,
fastest lap of the race. Keep this up.
and down the Camel Straight. Yeah, imagine if we got those engine upgrades done in time for this race, we'd be flying even more. Well, went a little bit wide there. Cost us a little bit of time to Ricardo. Gain it right back, and then some. Ooh, that's not good. Yep, that curve is always a little tricky. At corner there. It's always hard just to nail that one just right, because if you go too fast, you'll go wide, and you can keep going because there's tarmac out there, but you'll run off track. And if you don't give enough throttle, you'll get on the curb, or you go too shallow into the corner, you will do what I did and spin out. Man, Ricardo really closing up to me right now. Of course, interesting that this is the race where Ricardo decides to really take it to me, because he is my rival, or the new rival that I selected. Mistake cost me. We can get back at Ricardo still. We're in good shape.
Be careful, we think you're going to start losing some tyre grip around now.
Pass again. Deep diving into the chicane. And Ricardo's going to win out for now, but we will have the DRS on the Australian outside turn one. It's tight. Ricardo's going to get it, but again, we will get the DRS and should be able to re-overtake him for that spot. In the slipstream. Ricardo's got no defense. You go right back by him to retake the lead as Perez and the Ferraris close back in. And it's really a five-way fight for the lead right now. Between myself, and Ricardo, Perez, and the two Ferraris. There is another small pack behind us that is basically, or that is led by Mick Schumacher. And it's only 3 cars. It's Schumacher, it is the AlphaTauri of Pierre Gasly, and the McLaren of Lando Norris, and then it's a ways back to Yuki Tsunoda in his Mercedes. Where's the pack? My teammate is up to 22nd, 21st, 20th, 19th, 18th place. So we're stuck behind George Russell in the Williams and Fernando Alonso. So the top 8 have really solidified ourselves at this point. Because we've really, as you know, that second pack is really broken away from Tsunoda and the rest of the field. Pit window suggests lap 8.
We're leading our teammate by 17.1 seconds. They're on old softs. They're in 18th. The time last lap was a 1:50.1.
Yeah, in an ideal scenario, will we be able to get enough of a gap? I would like to be able to get enough of a gap to Yuki Tsunoda, who's the car that's leading that third pack, so that I could pit and come out in front of Tsunoda and not get stuck in that traffic. But with where the pit window is, I don't know if that's going to be really likely. So I just might have to deal with the fact that I'm going to get stuck in traffic whenever I pit, unless I really, really wait it out. But I don't think I'm going to wait that long, because I'll probably get undercut by the people behind me. Ran wide at that corner once again, and here comes Ricciardo, looking for a move. He's not going to get it this time, though. Meanwhile, easy for me to say, Pierre Gasly has actually overtaken Mick Schumacher and has moved into 6th place. And now what's interesting is that Yuki Tsunoda, I don't know if you saw on the minimap there on the bottom left there, but Tsunoda has sort of broken away on his own. He's really in no man's land right now. He's pulling away from, I think, the Aston Martins, but he's still a long ways behind this pack right here that I'm leading. See there? Tsunoda's sort of stretched away from the... Actually, I think that's the... Uh-oh. Oh, no! There's been a crash!
Green flag.
There's been an accident behind, and Daniel Ricciardo has spun. Let's take a look what happened. Something happened to Ricciardo. Oh, he just lost it right in front of the other cars, and oh, that was Leclerc who clobbered Ricciardo. Absolutely clobbered him. Had nowhere to go. Was a pretty narrow part of the racetrack, so it was going to be hard to avoid any sort of incident. Let's take a look. Yeah, I think Ricciardo just loses it, spins around, and tries to do a 360, but then just gets clobbered by Leclerc. So the man who passed me for the lead not that many laps ago has completely dropped it and is now sitting in the grass trying to get back around. You look at slow motion again from his point of view. Yeah, he's just going through, just making the turn. I guess he just gets a little too much on the curb, and it just steps out from under him, and he just loses it. And now, here's part of the problem, is that he's got all these cars behind him. He tries to do a complete 360, and he probably would have been okay if it was by himself, but then he just gets clobbered by Leclerc, and I'm shocked that neither car appears to be out of the race as far as like being retired, but yeah, both of them are going to be in a lot of trouble, I would say. Now let's get it from the onboard of Sergio Perez. Now I would say I think Leclerc might be okay because we are close to the pit stop cycle, or the pit stop window opening anyway, so he could probably just change the wing, throw on a set of hard tires, and go to the end. But he's definitely going to lose time. Here's from Sergio Perez's point of view. And he just sees Leclerc come up alongside and just plow right into Daniel Ricciardo. And here's the onboard from Leclerc. Ooh. Yeah, if that was real life, both cars would be out of the race. But you know, the F1 games don't really work like that necessarily, at least on this damage thing. And I guess to be fair, I mean the damage isn't really something where like none of the wheels were really struck. It was just basically a direct T-bone impact into the side of Ricciardo's car. That will definitely have major implications when it comes to the Constructors' Championship. Constructors' Championship, easy for me to say. Carlos Sainz. See, Sainz was smart, he slowed down and he stayed to the right. Leclerc's mistake was that he was trying to go left, but Ricciardo, I guess Leclerc's AI must have assumed that Ricciardo would have stayed to the right. And he went to the left, but Ricciardo spun back to the left and got right into him. On board with Pierre Gasly, seeing it from his perspective. And yeah, just a unfortunate incident for Ricciardo and Leclerc. Bam! And that's pretty significant wing damage. I have to imagine Leclerc is going to pit here. So, hey, from my standpoint, it really helps me. I mean, I'm not going to complain. Oh, I think Leclerc, is he really, like, backing up the pack there? I saw that they slowed very dramatically going into that corner. Maybe it's just that, you know, Leclerc's got nothing, or has severely compromised downforce on his car. Or just, I guess, with the damage, just generally. And Ricciardo is just sitting there and he's letting the whole field go by, so he's going to be all the way in the back. Yeah, but what this is allowing me to do is just... Leclerc's holding everyone up, and I'm just pulling away from them.
Okay,
uh-oh, safety car is out.
That the safety car is out. There appears to have been an issue with multiple stopped vehicles on the track. Check.
let's actually go. This is the first safety car in a while, but let's see what happened back there. Did Ricardo plow into somebody? No, I guess it was just Ricardo couldn't get going, so that's why they brought out the safety car. Well, I have to imagine pretty much everyone has to be coming down pit road, I would think. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't stop here.
Copy that. Right, come in at the end of this lap. Drop your speed, our delta is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
Oh, come on. I entered that pit road picture perfect. Not really, but... Alright, in the pits we go. Gonna throw on medium tires to go to the end of the race. Just want to see everyone else coming in. It should be interesting to see how the running order shakes out with everybody deciding to dive into the pits here.
Complete, go now.
Very quick stop, 1.9 seconds.
Christian is in the pits. Christian in the pits. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Literally everyone is in the pits.
We're coming up. Give that position back. We are under safety car conditions and cannot overtake.
I actually completely missed the safety car. I was looking for it. I was like, where's the safety car? I was like, oh, it's right there. Stopped right before a Rouge. Okay, so I want to see how this is all playing out on pit road. I want to see this. Okay, so we got, this is Leclerc, and he's obviously holding up Carlos Sainz, because Carlos Sainz, you know, stuck behind him. You've got, who's coming out of the pits now? That's, Pierre Gasly. And who's that car in front of him? That must be a Mercedes, I think. No, that's the Red Bull of Sergio Perez. So it's going to be Perez in second, Gasly third. Leclerc is going to come out fourth, but Sainz will be massively compromised. You got the Alfa Romeos stacked up there. You've got Lundgaard coming in. You got Bottas trying to get out. It's just absolute chaos on pit road. Tsunoda's going to be... Is he going to be fourth and then Leclerc fifth? By the looks of it, that's how it's going to be. Let's see how everything else is going back there. So, Perez second, Gasly third, Tsunoda fourth. That's my teammate, Christian Lundgaard. I think my teammate might be in a pretty decent position. I'm not sure. I have to check the scoring. Okay, so Perez currently shows second. Gasly third, Tsunoda fourth, Leclerc fifth, Mick Schumacher will be sixth, Norris will be seventh, Esteban Ocon will be eighth, Bottas ninth, Giovinazzi 10th, and my teammate will be 11th. So my teammate Christian Lundgaard on the verge of points. Lance Stroll will be 12th, George Russell will be 13th, Alonso will be 14th, Jack Aitken will be 15th, Nikita Mazepin. No, that's Callum Isla, I should say. Callum Isla will be 16th. Sainz will be stuck in 17th. 18th will be Vettel. It looks like 19th will be Guan Yu Zhou. Then it's Dan Ricciardo, Nikita Mazepin, and Nicholas Latifi. I think that's going to be your running order.
Approaching the safety car. You're leading, so don't pass it. Stay behind the...
want to check with the race director here. I saw the Perez, so we got a mix of strategies here. Some people have gone with medium tires, others have gone for hard tires. So you got Perez on hards, you got Gasly, Tsunoda, and Leclerc on the mediums. You got Mick Schumacher, Lando Norris, Esteban Ocon on hards. You got Bottas, Giovinazzi, Lundgaard, Stroll on mediums, Russell's on hards, Alonso's on hards, Aiken mediums, Islet hards, Sainz on mediums, Vettel on mediums, Guan Yu Zhou on mediums, Ricciardo on hards, Mazepin on hards, and Nicholas Latifi on the hard tires. So I take a sip of water there, but yeah, interesting strategies. I mean, I think both tires can go to the end of the race. I think the only advantage of going with the hards is that you're going to have more tire life at the end of the race, as opposed to the start of the run. Once we get back going here. Safety car is going super slow. Well, I guess it's just trying to back it up a little bit so the pack can catch up. Mazepin and Latifi bringing up the rear back there. It looks like we're going to make another lap under the safety car here. As I unplug my phone charger. Again, easy for me to say.
We're coming up to the safety car now. Do not pass it. You are the leader. Follow the safety car.
Alright, I suspect they'll be going back green this time by now that the pack has fully caught up to the safety car.
You're leading the pack. P1, Perez behind. Less than a second separate you. They're on fresh hards. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 14 laps to go.
So with the intricacies of the pit stop sequence, or the green flag racing pit stops, the green flag pit stops, pretty much thrown out the window now. It's just going to be a dash to the finish. No secondary stops should be necessary unless somebody cuts a tire or has an accident. Of course, we will be the control car for the safety car restart in terms of deciding when to go. That's another sip of water. All right.
Approaching the safety car. You're leading, so don't pass it. Stay behind the safety car.
Uh-oh, something happened behind us.
Some information on Giovinazzi. It looks like the problem is terminal. They're retiring the car.
Giovinazzi has retired under the safety car. This is not the first time this has happened. And there you see it from one of the Alpines. Giovinazzi. Goes up in smoke. He had actually been in a great position. He came out pretty well after the pit stops, and now he's out of the race. And that actually will elevate, because he was right in front of my teammate Christian Lundgaard. So that should elevate Lundgaard into the points. P10. So are we still going green this time, or are we going to go around for another lap?
Safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap. You will be controlling the pace on the restart. Keep it steady until the safety car has reached the pit lane.
I guess Giovinazzi was able to get out of the way, get well enough out of the way that we didn't need to do another lap. Very slow, deliberate backing up of the pack. Get ready for the restart. And we're away.
Okay, clear. Gap to teammate behind is 4.0 seconds.
Of course, DRS will not be available for 2 laps here, as is typical with a safety car restart. For Rouge and Radion. Oh, Perez, he's pretty close. He's going to be in my slipstream here. He's going to go to the outside. He's not going to be able to get anything done, though. And he tucks back into second place. Actually, I just realized I have not done a mid-session save yet. So I'll take care of that before I continue here. Yep, alright, we're good. We can proceed. Really, really close to breaking the DRS barrier to Perez. Of course, again, not out yet, but if I can get beyond 1 second by the time the next lap starts after the one we're about to start, then we'll be in pretty good shape, because Perez won't be able to use DRS. Of course, Perez is on the hard tires, so that I guess shouldn't be a total surprise that he's falling back. Oh no! Another curve that's particularly treacherous. My teammate is stuck behind the Alpine of Esteban Ocon. He could really, or he really just needs to get by Ocon here, and the DRS should help him with that, I would think.
There's been an incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now. Just be careful.
Oh, there was an incident, you say? Let's see if there actually was. And Ricardo passing one of the Alfa Romeos. No, don't see an incident anywhere to speak of. So, wonder what happened there. But now DRS is enabled. The Camel Strait is about to become a very active zone here. Purple Sector 1. Pierre Gasly closed right back up to Perez. And I believe my teammate Christian Lundgaard has been able to get by Esteban Ocon, which is what he really needed. He's move up into 9th place. Side by side. But I think Lundgaard's going to win the battle here, which is exactly what he needed, and now he can attempt to run down Valtteri Bottas. They do have a couple of hard tire runners in front of them, so perhaps they can catch them and battle with them for position. That would be wonderful. New fastest lap of the
Great
race.
work. That's a new fastest lap of the race. The car behind has started to drop back. There's a gap beginning to form.
Gasly is so close to Perez. He's really wanting to overtake him for second, but he's just not able to get there. Gasly's about a half second, a little less behind Perez. Could this be the lap? And he finally gets the pass. See, Perez, I think he just gets better traction off that first corner, and that enables him to pull away just ever so slightly. Side by side with him now. I think Perez is just barely going to hold on to P2. Gasly going on the outside. He has the position momentarily, but the lines switch as the turns go right to left to right again. And Perez maintains P2 for the moment. Tire wear, solid shape, should have nothing to worry about right now. Purple sector 2. Oh,
Good
just
job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
Just barely a new fastest lap.
We're leading our teammate by 15.1 seconds.
Oh man, you can just feel Perez is Gasly is so close that he can taste it. But can he actually get the job done and get the pass completed? This time down the Kemmel Straight, we'll see. He might have it, we'll see as I go off the track a little bit. I think Perez might have held him off once again. Gasly tries the inside this time. But Perez just had a better drive into the corner and maintains the spot. So Gasly will continue to try for that second position. What's happening at this point is that Perez, being on those hard tires, is really backing up all the cars behind him because Mick Schumacher and Lando Norris are about to catch the back of that pack. It ran up behind Leclerc. They're getting pretty close, and they're dragging Bottas along as well. Gasly get him this time. That battle just continues to be so impressive. As Pierre Gasly continues to try, but Perez just continues to hold him off. New fastest lap of the race. Purple sector 3. Under 5 laps to go.
Green flag.
Uh-oh, somebody's had a problem. Right behind us. Oh, is that Yuki Tsunoda? Oh, he's out of the race. Yuki Tsunoda in the Mercedes. Looks like a terminal problem on his car. Yep, there you go. Plumes of smoke coming from the Mercedes. Oh, and Mick Schumacher almost clobbered him there. I won't mind that at all, because that just means another spot for Christian Lundgaard to gain, so he'll be up to P8. He'll be inside, he'll just have more points on the day as he looks for his best result in F1 thus far. And right at the moment, at the proper moment as well, after this race, I believe we have to renegotiate his contract. So everything's really, really looking up for, Lundgaard right now.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining. Tire condition is still looking good.
Off track there. Under 3 laps to go now. Tire wear is still in solid shape. The most worn tire is only 44%. Perez has finally started to claw back some time from me, though I suspect that's just more of a product of the hard tires finally kicking in terms of the tire
4
wear.
laps of fuel remaining. You're losing a small amount of time to the car behind. Keep pushing.
going to be coming around here to start the final lap of the Belgian Grand Prix. Daniel Ricciardo did lead one lap when he got by us, so it wasn't a flag-to-flag victory for me in terms of leading the race. But of course, it all got turned on its head when Ricciardo, right in the second sector, spun it around, collided with Leclerc, and that set off the eventual safety car, which caused everybody to come down into the pits. And it's pretty much been smooth sailing from there. Points-wise, we should gain a lot here on the Ferrari. I think we're actually going to re-overtake Ferrari in the Constructors, because if Lundgaard finishes where he is, he'll get 4 points for finishing 8th. I get the win, fastest lap, so I'll be 26. That's 30 points total. Whereas Leclerc, if he stays where he is only going to accumulate 12. So 30 to 12 is 18. I think Ferrari was leading by 15 coming into this race, so we should leave Spa with a 3-point advantage in the Constructors' Championship. Yeah, for some reason, Ford can come out.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
And the Constructors' Championship should be separated by only three points going into the Netherlands. But that's the Constructors' Drivers' Championship continues to be a non-factor as I am on the verge of winning yet another race here in Season 2. Down the brakes, around the final corner, final chicane, and we will win the Belgian Grand Prix as we crawl to the line.
Great job. You've done everything we wanted today.
A difficult race then on one of the all-time classic circuits, but they persevered to take the win here today. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There's so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
Here comes your top 3 making their way down to the podium.
There's myself,
what can only be described
Perez,
as a fantastic
and
day for Formula
Gasly
1.
on the podium here in Belgium.
So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Another solid result for our championship leader today, allowing them to extend the gap between themselves and the rest of the standings. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Christian Lundgaard gets my vote today.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. The owner-drivers team moved to the top of the table. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from Red Bull this time out, and they improved their position in the championship. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
So there you go, that was the Belgian Grand Prix. Taking a look at the constructor standings, we are now ahead of Ferrari by just 6 points, while Red Bull overtakes McLaren for third. And Mercedes gets to fall back a little bit. And AlphaTauri also gains a lot of points too. They jump Alpine. Driver standings, 104 now is the gap to Leclerc. Lundgaard sort of in no man's land really, unless he can get more points to catch up to the Aston Martins. But yeah, that's what it's looking like right now, and as promised, I will go back to the beginning of the race to view the start that I had, that long side-by-side I had with Sergio Perez for the first part of that opening lap. So he has the lead. Dive in. We are side by side. I think we're going to dive back. Did we go side by side all the way up Eau Rouge? I forget. I think we might have. Yes, we did. We were side by side all the way up the hill. I think I ducked back behind him to get the slipstream. And then I got alongside him once again and made the successful overtake. So there you go with that. What a race in Spa. And a good job on my teammate. Going from the back of the grid, literally, I think he was dead last, starting, all the way up to P8. Of course, he had some engine failures to help him get there, but still, nevertheless,
the fans
very
really
impressive.
seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy. Was there really any competition for you today? Things are looking up after last week, aren't they? Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing. Great. Well, that's everything.
Easy first win in the battle between Ricciardo and the rivalry 7-3 lead. Meet all the sponsor goals, which is good. No base payout. And we should have more than enough money to renew Christian Lundgaard's contract. That'll be the main focus of the bit in the team headquarters here before the next race. Of course, this is a triple header, so not much time between the next race.
The team's income is looking very robust right now. It's time for you to have a think about our profit margin and what areas of the operation might benefit from that money.
All right. A much easier time getting our teammate re-signed compared to the last season when we had Guan Yu Zhou. And let's take a look. And see if there are any changes to the driver market. Really? Okay. Um, excuse me? Excuse me. Wow. Alright, so let's go over some of the changes here, because we've actually got some mid-season changes. So, Bottas stays where he is, same for Ricardo. Max Verstappen is now at Haas. How Haas is able to even afford Max Verstappen, I have no idea. So, this is crazy. So, they dropped Jack Aiken, clearly. They were not pleased with his performance. Yet they somehow signed Nikita Mazepin. Are you serious? Are you serious? This is really, like, unbelievable. Nikita Mazepin in a Mercedes. And Max Verstappen in a Haas. So it's like, is Mercedes having money problems or something? Like, what is going on here? This is insane. Oh my god. Well, that should be interesting to look forward to as we get ready for the next round, which will be the Dutch Grand Prix. And we'll just double check the standings just to confirm that Jack Aiken is the only one that was dropped. And that is indeed the case, but this is insane. This is truly, truly insane. But on 2021 My Team Career Mode, it's getting pretty wild. Pretty wild.